Hello and welcome to this free mandolin lesson aimed at mainly advanced players, but anyone can have a go at this really cool tune. In the next 10 minutes or so, we're going to learn the Vivaldi Concerto for two mandolins in G major. And for anyone who's never heard that before, that should hopefully sound a bit like this. Everything we talk about in this lesson is included in a free PDF below, so you can have the tab and the music in front of you, because this is really a reading music exercise more than anything else. I've also done a few backing tracks because it might be useful for your practice, and they are also linked below, so you can have this as with both parts playing, or you can have it with just the second part and you're the first part. So this piece of music doesn't really have A parts, B parts, etc. It's a start to finish exercise in reading what is essentially 60. Well, I've done 36 measures of music, but in fiddle tune terms, it's actually double that because the music's written in half time. So you no need to worry about repeats. We're not like jumping sections. You start at the beginning, read it straight through, and you end at the end. This is my background really. I was in brass bands between the age of 8 and 13 before I found the mandolin, playing a baritone horn, and you would turn up at practice, they'd put a piece of music in front of you and you'd read it and then you go home. You never memorised it, you became an exercise in repeating the ink on the paper. So that's what this is. I'm going to briefly take you through it in sort of 8-bar chunks just so you can hear each section on its own. And then I'll sort of point out a few of the harder phrases while we do that, and then we're going to finish with a full jam through the piece. So let's start with our the first 8 measures. And like I said, you don't get A parts, B parts. What you do get though is the start of each line has a bar count. So it's sort of 0, 4, 7, 10 if you're reading the sheet I have. So that's how you know where you are, because I'll say we're on bar 13 and then you have to work out where bar 13 is. Anyway, so the first few phrases sound a bit like this. So it'd be 1, 2, 3. Keep going. So that was just at the end of bar 8. So it's not quite a neat 8-bar chunks melodically wise, but that's how I want to break up this lesson. So a few things to point out in there. You may have noticed there's a lot of 16th notes and a lot of 8th notes. So in terms of pick direction, you have to slightly adjust how you're using your pick strokes. So normally we say the quarter notes would all be down, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then if you fill those in with 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But we've not got that. We've got mainly 8th notes and 16th notes. So you almost have to imagine the 8th notes are now the all down strokes, and then the 16th notes are the alternate. So that first phrase, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, down, down. So anytime you've got 8th notes in a row, they're all down. Anytime you then start going into 16th, that's when you start going alternate. So if we carry on to our next phrase, so where we started off, which is now we're in the 9th measure, so you have to find that. So you find 7, 8, 9. We've just gone, and then we go. All down. So that phrase there from 13 and 14 all down because it's 8th notes. And now in measure 15 and 16 we have something that you do not often have to tackle when you are a bluegrass mandolin or a folk mandolin player, and that is rests. Just 2 bars where you are not allowed to do anything. Normally we're either playing the melody or we hop onto the chords, so we never have to count rests. Well, in sort of classical music, and especially when I was back in the brass band playing a baritone horn, which is not one of the main instruments, we quite often have big sequences of rests. I remember sort of counting 32, 36 measures where I was just counting rather than playing. And in this one, you only have it's sort of 2 and a bit bars. And so this is how you would count it. You would count it, so if you go into it at this speed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. So it doesn't really matter because it's low numbers, but when you're counting rests, you used to sort of keep a note of where you are in the rests by that first note. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4. So you knew what bar count you're on. So that's how, when we'll play it later, that's how I'll count it. Carrying on, the phrases start to get a little harder from here. So we are just in bar 17 as the melody comes back in. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. So you see the quick position shift to get that. And then we've got this really cool phrase. So it's like a G arpeggio. And then like a D7 arpeggio. And then from 25 onwards, we have a big, really cool rundown. So this is your only position, like main position shift in a phrase. Start, middle finger on the B, position shift there on the G. There's a few ways to do it, but I watched a few classical mandolin players play this, and that's how they did that position shift. And then we hit this phrase, little arpeggio cross-picky thing, which could have been written by Jackson McReynolds, but it's Vivaldi. So if I just do from bar 25 again, so you can see it all in action. So it'd be 1, 2... Really pretty classical mandolin, very classical phrase. So it's a melody, but it's very arpeggio based. So you've got, an A, D, A7, back to D, not quite sure what you would call that, maybe like an E minor thing. Because we're actually, what we may have noticed, we've modulated in the key of D at this point. Very classical thing is just you start in the key of G, then you modulate to the 5 of that, so you modulate into the key of D, and eventually you get back into the original key. So the last few phrases, so we're now on bar 30. It sounds like this. And then this phrase. That's your ending phrase. This is technically an extract from the concerto. It carries on for another few minutes. So we actually finish this piece in the key of D. If you want to, you can find sort of tabs on the internet if you want the full piece. But I didn't want this video being sort of half an hour long. I just wanted a snapshot of the concerto for two mandolins. Okay, we're going to have a full play through the piece, but we're going to do it twice. The first time through, I'm going to split screen, so it's got the second part and the first part. So what you're essentially doing the first time through is just playing along with me, playing the first part, and then the second part will be happening at the same time. And then what I'll do is I'll play it again, but I will just play the second part, which is a harder job for you because then you've got nothing to go off. You just have to make sure you're counting properly, listening to the second part, listening to the metronome that's going to be on there as well. So the first time through will be slightly easier, second time is more challenging, and this sounds really cool if you get it right. So let's go for it. The Concerto in G major by Vivaldi for two mandolins. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, four, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. Three, four, 1, 2. 1, 2. And now the version with just one mandolin. So you're on your own for this one. Again, after a 3 counting. 1, 2, 3. So there we have the Vivaldi Mandolin Concerto. Hope you've enjoyed playing that. It's such a cool piece when you get it right. I hope you do want to go and find the rest of it because it's all available somewhere on the internet. We do these lessons every month. Please head over to mandomike.com for all the other free lessons we've done. Hit like and subscribe while you're here, and we'll see you next month.